It's not just Democrats who are against school choice. All right, y'all, welcome back in. I'm just going to dive right in. We're going to talk about education. We're going to talk about school choice. This is a topic that has been quite prevalent since President-elect Donald Trump won the election, and he has promised to do away with the education department. I'll try not to get my hopes up, but I really hope he does it. But I want to talk about school choice. This was an issue that was very big during the 2022 midterms and beyond. And I'm telling you right now, it's going to be right back in the spotlight in this upcoming legislative session, especially at the state level. There are several states that still haven't passed comprehensive school choice legislation, but they're looking to do it coming up in 2025. But here's the thing. We always assume that it's Democrats who oppose school choice, and that's true because they do. But it's not just them. There are plenty of Republican lawmakers at the state level who oppose the idea that parents should be the ones who decide where and how their children are educated. Yeah, this party of small government sometimes wants big control, especially over your child's education. So I'm going to call that for what it is: hypocrisy. So we've been told for years that school choice is a hill every Republican is willing to die on. Right? Wrong, wrong, wrong. Now, I'll be fair. Most of the party does champion parental rights in education. There is a vocal minority that opposes school choice, arguing that the same government conservatives love to hate, should decide where your kids go to school and how they're educated. So I'm going to break it down. I'm going to call some people out here. We're going to have a little bit of fun. Let's start in Tennessee. Tennessee, take me to another land. Okay, I'm not going to get into that. Let's start with Tennessee. We've got State Representative Todd Warner, who had plenty to say about Governor Bill Lee's voucher proposal back in 2019, and he's speaking out now too. In a written statement, he said, quote, "I absolutely support school choice and open enrollment for our kids. But the current voucher bill being proposed by Governor Lee and Republican leadership is neither." He continued, he said, quote, "The voucher proposal is a massive entitlement program that will funnel our taxpayer dollars to private for-profit businesses and hurt our economy." Okay, so we all get concerned. We all get the concern about wasteful spending, but calling school choice an entitlement program, one can argue that requiring your children to go to government-run schools is an entitlement program, especially since you're making them do it. You can get in trouble in most states if you don't send your child to some type of schooling. That's a whole other issue. I'll get into that another time. But Warner also raised the alarm about government overreach in homeschooling. He says if public funds are given to individuals enrolled in homeschool programs, new requirements and oversight from the state will soon follow. Now, generally, that's true. I mean, when the government gives you money, there tend to be strings attached. But guess what? They're already attached. That funding currently goes to force you to have your kids go to government-run schools. And there are a lot of strings attached to that. We've been dealing with this education debate for years now, especially over the past 3, 4, 5 years, when people found out that schools are teaching kids ideology and not reading, writing, and arithmetic. It's already happening. I would much rather have parents have the right to homeschool and get that support for doing so. And then you can fight against the strings that government people will definitely want to attach. This is not very good logic here. Then we also have State Representative Tom Leatherwood, who said during a legislative debate that he is concerned that having these accounts out there could draw some people who aren't as dedicated or concerned about homeschooling as some have been in the past. It just takes one or two bad cases to tarnish an entity or an institution. Good God, that is the dumbest argument I could think of. Like, look, I get it. Some people might start homeschooling and then they don't really take it seriously. That happens. But the vast majority of people who homeschool their kids take it seriously because it's their kids. They love their kids. They want their kids to be well educated. Come on. Do we really want to limit educational freedom because some people might misuse it? That's like advocating for repealing the Second Amendment because some people would misuse their firearms. None of these people would dare make that suggestion in a state like Tennessee, where they will get voted out for even thinking it, right? That sounds like a policy built on fear, not freedom. Liberty means that some people are going to be irresponsible. That's not a good enough reason to stifle liberty for the rest of us, right? Exactly. Now, here's the thing: this isn't just a Tennessee problem. Which, by the way, Tennessee is going to be one of the big battleground states for school choice coming up. I'm telling you right now, keep an eye out for it, especially if you live in Tennessee or you know someone who does. Governor Bill Lee is really pushing this school choice bill for vouchers, and there's going to be a lot of backlash for it. But let's travel a little bit east to Kentucky. You have State Representative Timmy Truitt, who's also an elementary school principal. He voted against a school choice amendment, and he said, quote, "I am not against school choice." Why do they always start out like that? I'm not against school choice, but, and here's what he says, "but I am against taking money away from the districts who need that extra funding, and I'm afraid of what this legislation might do." I get it. Public schools, especially in rural areas, rely on state funding, which is kind of problematic in and of itself, right? But Timmy boy, isn't the point of school choice to empower parents to choose what's best for their children and not focusing so much on keeping a broken system afloat? We know our government run schools are crap for the most part. I know there's some good ones, but in general, they're failing, and they've been failing for years. Then, and let's go over to Texas, where I just moved from. State Representative Glenn Rogers, who lost his primary after being targeted by pro school choice groups, said, "If you tell a lie often enough, it becomes truth to a low information voter." Unfortunately, we have a lot of low information voters. Glenn, dude, that's why you lost. I mean, if you think that people who support school choice are low information voters, you deserve to lose. I mean, that's kind of baked into the cake there. Maybe if you backed policies that gave parents more options while also looking for solutions for people in rural areas, maybe people wouldn't be screaming out for change. So, what's the takeaway? Like I said, it ain't just Democrats who are attacking school choice. You're going to have to deal with Republicans who also don't want parents to have these choices. Now, they hide behind these excuses. They always say, "Oh, I support school choice," but, well, they don't support school choice. A lot of these people are being backed by teachers' unions, which is something that I looked at like years ago, and I'll be diving back into it again because you're going to want to know which one of your state representatives is being funded by teachers' unions. It's not just Democrats. And here's the thing. I'll end with this. I don't believe that school choice is the end all be all. If I had my way, government would be out of education altogether, as close to that as we can get. School choice is a step in that direction because it gives parents more control over where and how their children are educated, which is why anybody who values liberty should be supporting it. So I'll leave it there for you guys. Let me know what you think. Give me your feedback. Also, subscribe, like this, share this, all that good stuff. Check out my Substack. It's called Chasing Liberty. You can access that at libertychasers.com. You'll see all of my liberty-focused content on politics, culture, all that good stuff. Become a subscriber there. Support my work. I appreciate it. But until next time, stay free, stay principled, and most importantly, stay on.